98.7. What's happening? What it is? What's up? So. Hey. It's a black and brown one he got, and it's a girl. What up, y'all? We back in the building, man. Look, my wife over there doing the thing. Look at her. She like, y'all don't know the setup, man. Look. So, we about to be vlogging from now on and every day, another day, all days, okay? This is how the vlogging setup is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, guys.
Are you live?
We are live right now as I speak, okay? Guys, today is going to be a great day. I expect great things to happen for you today. Look, you see the hand? That's me pushing the energy that way. I expect great things to happen for you today, just like it's going to happen for me today. Today is going to be a great day, all right? Look, why? Because God says so. You feel me? Look, my wife trying to grab the phone. Back up, lady. Look, we doing the vlog thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing, boo-boo? What you doing today? Look at that thing. Swang-a-lang-a-jang.
Get out of here.
Yo, man. So, look.
Scoot over, baby.
We're going to scoot over. We're going to scoot over for you guys today. We're going to scoot over. Scoot over. All right, I'm trying to scoot over for you.
You have to go this way.
Gotta go wait. This way?
Corner, yes.
Can y'all believe this? This lady's just making me move all type of ways and which ways and whatnot. That's why I gotta get that little stick too. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get the stick. Yeah, man. So look, we're gonna make today short today, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see how many people drop in the live, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get this message started for today. I'm gonna pick up where I left off, you know what I'm saying? And that was the information and the notes that I took from Dr. Miles Monroe and what I'm going to continue to apply to life and, you know what I'm saying, get the results that I've been looking for, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that I ain't been getting results, but you know what I'm saying, I feel like knowledge is...
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you know? No, I ain't lying. Nobody lying. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? No, that's not what they say when they lie. They just saying, you know what I'm saying, so you can just keep up. You know, some people be like, and they don't be understanding nothing. They don't be downloading shit. They just be saying, So, we're gonna talk about. I think I want to pick up where I left off.
Second time you're saying that.
I'm gonna pick up where I left off. I'm gonna pick up where. Yes. Desperation always follows into. Yeah. What is this one? This is an act of.
So that person called you early this morning to tell you that the dog gave birth.
The dog gave birth.
Oh, come on.
That was the guy. That was the guy that I drop off on the bus number 10. Yeah. The one I told you he'd be with the older ladies.
Yeah.
That's what's up. He's like, I was like, how much you want for it? $60, bro. That's it, right? You know the girl at the job. She brought her dog in there. She had a little Chihuahua. She brought her down there. She was like, yeah, I'm breeding her. Or breeding him. I said, how much you sell for your puppy? She said, $500 a piece. I looked at her. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Bro, $500 for a Chihuahua. I paid $250 for Bella, and that was the best investment ever. Come on, man.
Anyways,
so, 500.
What it do? Oh
what it do? Ain't know what it do for you.
What?
Boo boo.
What?
Why?
Why?
You get them a call back. That's what you need to do.
I can't give them a call back. I have to wait until they give me a call. That's why I called them the first time.
I will be blowing their phone up right now. Blowing it up.
No, you're crazy. How do you do that if people tell you that we're going to put you in the next in line, we're going to call you in 15 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
God. Don't show me.
Why not? You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Did y'all hear that?
Thank you. Is that what you want?
No, that was not it. The reaction. Neither one of those were the reaction.
Thank you.
Oh, No, that's not the reaction either.
Thank you.
That's not the reaction either.
Leave me alone.
It's supposed to be like a lovey-dovey. Oh, lovey. That's what's supposed to be.
Thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet.
You welcome, baby. Anyways, yo, do you got a message for them today? What's on your mind today?
What's on my mind today?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great question. What's on my mind today is that I missed my appointment. I'm kidding. I haven't. But my appointment is at 10. My checkup doctor's appointment is at 10. Okay, this is what happened, you guys. I don't know the time of the appointment. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yo,
but I know that
somebody get on her head. Somebody get on her head.
Anywho, that's not what we hear. What's on my mind today is I rested well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did rest well.
I did. I did rest well.
I got some notes for y'all today.
I rested well, and I also wanted to share that you guys are amazing. And I wanted to share that you guys are great people.
Yes.
And I also wanted to share that you guys got this. Y'all got the resolutions.
That is true.
Y'all are killing it out there. I see you guys.
I see you guys killing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
To all 150 million people watching.
Yes.
So look, man. Every day is a day to study, man. Every day is a day to take notes.
Hey, that's what I read this morning. I was reading a book of Proverbs. It was Proverbs 2, verse, where is it at? I highlighted it. I was like, wait, no, it was 1. It was 1, right? Did I highlight it? Or was I just like kind of sleepy? I did highlight. Let me go back.
Well, while she looking for that,
Yeah, you guys can.
as I was saying, was every day is a day to study. Every day is a day to take notes. Every day is a day to character develop oneself. Right? Yesterday I had a full day. It normally is a normal day for me to take notes and stuff, but yesterday I had a full day of studying. I had my earbuds in and I was getting the lectures.
Okay, I found it.
The videos that I normally listen to and watch, they're like an hour long. But I got a lot of gems from this video. You found it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and bring it.
Okay, so it is Proverbs 1, verse 28 to 32.
Okay.
So it says, when they cry for help, I will not answer.
Oh.
Though they anxiously... Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me. For they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. Therefore, they must eat the bitter fruit of leaving their own way, choking on their own schemes. Bro, for simpletons turn away from me to death. Fools are destroyed by their own compliance. But all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear or harm.
Nice.
I thought that was cool. It was super cool.
You know what's funny is that I love the law of synchronicities.
I related to that a lot.
Because he just talked about that yesterday. And he was talking about for people who, you know, are complaining and, you know, asking God for, hey God, I want this, I want that, and oh, things are not working out, or oh, this job and things like that. And, let alone you praying for stuff. Let alone you praying for things that you're not witnessing. Is this hot? Oh, I feel it.
It is. I just made it over there on the coffee maker.
It's good too, though.
It's not coffee though, guys. It's matcha.
That matcha, baby. But anyways, yeah, he was talking about, you asking God for a new job, or you asking God for all these things, and and expecting God to work for you, but God is like, I can't do nothing with you because number one, you're not even prepared.
Yeah.
You ain't studying, you ain't grabbed a book, you ain't learned how to do nothing. You asking for more money, but yet you ain't even understanding your finances. You
Alexa said, was it Alexa? I think it's Alexa, that lady from the one we were watching from Anthony O'Neill. She said that she couldn't get out of debt until she started reading books and listening to who's
audios.
This guy? The Seven Baby Steps.
Ramsey, Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey, yeah.
Yeah.
She couldn't. She was stuck. She was choking. Literally, she was choking on her own ish, just like this thing is saying, which is like it's verifying what she's saying, and it's verifying that it's true. Like she was literally on choke mode. She was like, I can't take it anymore. Yeah. Right? Just like how I felt. I was like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. I'm done. I'm done borrowing money. I am done. That's how I felt, bro. Yeah. That's the feeling you gotta get. In order for you to change, Les Brown said that in order for you to change, you gotta feel like that. Otherwise, if you don't feel like that, you're not gonna change.
You gotta get mad.
You gotta feel it. I don't know why my thing looks like that, but it's irritating me. It makes me look like I don't have no boobies.
Girl, them things looking good. What you talking about?
Look at you being a husband.
Anyways, moving forward, what she's talking about, I got a couple of points that I wanted to shine light on, but it was per se for making yourself aware, making yourself knowledgeable, making yourself study, and God appreciates.
Okay.
Yay! Hurry! They're gonna be like, yeah, you need to be here at 10 o'clock. Yeah, man, and making yourself aware, making yourself knowledgeable, and realizing this is how God can work through you. Moses was a scholar. Who else? Joe was a scholar. All these individuals that I don't know all the names to off rip, but they were scholars, and God was able to use them. During these times, man, and even Jesus was a scholar. Like he really studied what he needed to know, really dived in, really took the time, and became a connoisseur of knowledge. I mean, his name even says it. It's the Prince of Light, right? And the Prince of Light means light in itself means knowledge. And do we all know who the Prince of Darkness is? And darkness does not mean that the devil hides in alleyways. Darkness means the Prince of Ignorance, right? And you guys got to understand that the more you don't know, the more the devil can get to use you and distract you and keep you in the loop of why aren't things working out for me, right? Because the veil is over your face, right? And the more you lean in towards light, which is to know, right? You don't have to know all the ins and outs of things that won't develop you, right? You got to know when things are there for you to are there for your well-being, for your development. And that's why we give the principles, or we give the foundation of health, wealth, love, and happiness, which is the pillars to the good life, right? The pillars to an abundant lifestyle, a successful lifestyle. Because they're focusing on very important areas that most of us deem valuable, right? Who doesn't want to up-level their health, right? That's why the health industry is very popular. Who doesn't want to up-level their wealth? Who doesn't want to up-level
Writing.
who doesn't want to up-level their love life? You know, once you get the health and the wealth, I mean, at some point in time, loneliness starts to kick in, and also too, you're already where you need to be in life. So it's like, well, things are going right within in that department. So now I want to share it with somebody who's like-minded, right? And have same goals or even better goals and aspirations to expand what God has given me an assignment over, right? And from there, it overall is after you find the love of your life, all the people who are the love of your life, you know, you may have a wife, and then you may, or a husband, or after that you have friends, right? Those are the love of your lives as well. You know, establishing very good relationships with people to expand, you know, not even just to expand, but overall that's love as well. You know, you don't want to die and then no one knows you at your funeral and things like that. No one has a lot of good stuff to say. You want to die and then you leave on a legacy because you changed other people's lives and they changed your life, right? And you know, and then last but not least, happiness. You know, you want to live an overall happy lifestyle. You know, and what happiness is joyfulness, right? You could be happy for, you know, for a certain amount of time, but happiness is overall of the look back of the quality of the life that you lived. Like even with the ups and downs and things like that, and how it molded you and how you took advantage of those ups and downs and trials and tribulations that the Bible says, when in trial and tribulation, jump for joy, right? Rejoice. Right? Rejoice is to leap, to hop, to like, and then rejoice is to do it continuously, right? You continuously hopping, like, thank you for this trial. Thank you for the tribulation right now. That means that this is growth, man. That means like, you know, without the trials and tribulations, you don't grow, right? Without the soreness in the workout, without the repetitions that you've done in the gym, to where you just now, like, you know, you're tired and you're like, bro, like my body is beat up right now. But the rejoicefulness of it is that you went through it. You went through it, and now you're in the healing process. And even while you're in the healing process, you're still going to go to the gym that following week because that's the regimen. Right? And the rejoicing aspect is now you're starting to see, even not seeing the results, you know the body is working, you know the spirit is working, right? And rejoice in it, right? And it's very hard to do these things, right? It's something hard. It's very hard for a lot of people and a lot of us at one point to stay positive, right? And positivity is just light thoughts. Positivity is a way of bringing your thoughts to a higher level of thinking, right? Positivity thinking is being transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? And positivity thinking is not being of this world, but being of another world, right? And with this being said is that there's a way that the culture of heaven operates. There's a way that the culture of heaven operates that with being in a type of culture in a nation such as heaven, you have to understand that even when negativity thoughts come in, man, there's a way of thinking. There's a way that a prince carries himself. A prince doesn't carry himself in a way like, you know, like, oh man, life sucks, man. Things are just, I gotta do all this work, I gotta make all these things. It's like, no, there's a demeanor that they train him to operate. Right? There's a demeanor that he has to maintain, and he's in training for this, right? But there's a demeanor that he has to train for. So when he is seen in the dark and in the public, he has to train in the dark, obviously. So when he comes to the public, everything is in alignment. Everything, people perceives him as what he has already been practicing in the dark, right? And with understanding that, you know, there's a way you have to carry yourself when you are a representation of the kingdom of heaven, when you are a representation of the the nation of the kingdom of heaven. When you're a representation of God, there's a way when you're an ambassador for the kingdom of heaven, there's a way you have to carry yourself. You know, there's a demeanor, and there's an energy level. You know, when you're a successful person, they give us glimpse of what these successful people supposed to be carrying themselves like, right? And when you're an actor or you're a famous person, they give you glimpses of what a successful famous person, how they carry themselves, what their rituals are, what they do on a day-to-day basis, and how they maintain their success and their mental space, right? And they give you these aspects of, this is what this person do on a day-to-day basis. This is their routines on a day-to-day basis. And there's a routine that you carry yourself when you are a citizen of the kingdom of heaven, when you're an ambassador for the kingdom of heaven, right? There's a way that God wants you to present yourself on earth, right? That's why he wanted us to have power and dominion, to represent the nation of heaven on earth through him, right? His way of getting on earth is through us. We are the doors to that, right? In order for the culture of heaven to be on earth, it has to be represented through us, right? So that earth represents, and that earth is a reflection of heaven, right? And there's something to really dive in on. It's easier said than done. It is easier said than done. That's why when you're leaning on the presence of God, and when you're asking for the Holy Spirit to walk with you on this journey, and when you're asking for Yahshua HaMashiach to be there, while you're in this mission, it is a submissive state. I was listening to this TikTok yesterday of some gentlemen having a live conversation, right? And they were talking about, is God real, or is there a God? And the conversation was pretty deep. You had different perspectives. You had people even talking about God. Why is it that people perceive God as a male? Why is it always male-like energy when everything in nature shows that it's feminine energy? And they were like, if we had to place a sex on God, it would probably be a female. And I was like, neither here nor there. These are all perspectives, and whatever the case may be. And I feel like we're so human that we have to put things in a box, and we can't really even conceive the depth of how God is and who God is, right? And the reason why people, this new age of people are, now wrapping the energy frequency of feminine energy around God is because they understand that everything in nature and everything on earth represents that, right? And I have a different experience, and I would not say that God is a male nor female. I would say that God loves like a feminine energy, right? Earth is just a representation of the planet that we live on. That's why that's why when we came here, it was us to have dominion over it, right? Not it vice versa, right? It was the guy's original plan for us to have dominion. And let me tell you about the original plan. The original plan, God's original plan, was to establish the nation of heaven on earth through his children, aka mankind, through colonization, okay? The second one was to establish a community of heaven on earth, right? Like-minded individuals. Well, we're raising the frequency. We're talking about high-level conversations. To establish to fill the earth with the culture of heaven. It's a mindset. What is that mindset like? Cultural is things that we do and we pass down from generation to generation. To also govern earth from heaven through the dominion of man on earth. Through us. God works through us. For us to have and for us to be, we have to, basically, like, when you, in the historical information of what we have on earth, when dealing with a king, you have to consult the king with everything that you do on the land. Everything you do, because the king owns it. So if you wanted to make plans, you consult the king with those plans, and the king will let you know if those things will be or not be, right? And that's what the dominion through. That's what the governing is. The king governs over the assignment that he gave you, right? And the assignment that he gave us is everybody has an individual assignment, and it's about asking the Holy Spirit to guide us what that mission is. You may already know what that mission is. You may already been um, um, you may already been impressed upon your subconscious what that is, right? And you just don't believe in it yet. Last but not least, it was to establish the holy nation on earth, a holy nation. Holiness means oneness, right? And understanding that holiness means oneness, meaning integrity means oneness as well. To where you are now predictable, to where your character is unmovable. You know, being put in a situation, in any type of situation, like Job did, you understand that it is, most people look at it as foreign. They look at things as foreign, like, it's hard for me to maintain a certain way. If a situation happens, I might just bend. I might just be floppy because this situation happened. And it's like, that's not an excuse. How can I trust you if things go sideways? If I know that it's going to be hard for me to maintain character, but I'm going to force myself to maintain character. So, when talking about God's original plan, understanding that there's a way to live. There's a way to strive to live. There's a way to strive for to live, right? And we don't necessarily have to always piggyback off of what man does, right? Because a lot of men, they're figuring it out as well. They don't all have it, even the ones that are fully established. Hence why you hear like people like Zig Ziglar and Dr. Miles Monroe, Les Brown, Tony Robinson. They're coming across Myron Golden. They're coming across individuals who are already well established. For those people who are living amongst the regular people, right, and they're doing the day-to-days and trying to escape the matrix, these people are well off, and yet they're asking for the other individuals that I named to assist them in their endeavors because they don't have it all figured out. But most people would look at them and say, wow, you have all these things. You must really got things figured out. And it's like, no, they don't. They're still figuring it out. Wow, they reschedule it? Damn, dude. Hey, can you ask them to send you your paperwork from your last show? Let them ask them to email your last stuff when you went last time. Sorry, guys. I got a text message. My wife was on the phone with the clinic and stuff, but neither here nor there. More the story, what I wanted to just dumb down to and just say is that, I asked God about my journey, and I asked God about how it is that I can help hundreds of thousands of millions of people. And I have a goal to help 3,000 families become financially and overall just successful in life, right? And I believe being successful in life is number one pinnacle is having God at the top of it. I am not a religious person. And I understand that Jesus did not stand for religious things. Jesus spoke about the kingdom. And I am a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And who I represent is the king. And that is God. That is Abba. That is Source. That is Yahweh, Yahshua. You get the gist, right? And I understand that establishing and cultivating and being a ambassador of the citizen of the kingdom of heaven is a mission. It's something that is not just simplistic to do, right? I have things that I got to do on a daily basis, or I don't have to do. I get the chance to do. I get the opportunity to do. And, you know, I have goals and aspirations, and I ask God all the time to make sure that my will aligns with your will. You know, you already know what I want. You already know what I desire. And when I'm in my mind and I'm thinking about the next best thing, you know, I know that my mind is connected to your mind. I know that we are one. I and my Father are one. You know, I don't. Sometimes I hear voices and things like that, and you can call me crazy. I am loopy. So, no, anyways, um, but I understand that sometimes when I am receiving voices or thoughts and ideas that don't align with my well-being, I know that those are not of me. I know that I either picked those up somewhere, but my question is why are they coming now?
Did you set up a my chart?
What is that?
A my chart? My chart.
No.
Okay. Would you please?
Yeah. And what I ask is that even while on the mission, you know, I do this thing where I am like, it's like a force field, but it's like I'm also in tune with who I am. Like, I learned this with dancing. I learned this with being a dancer. Like, being able to tap into your frequency and being able to be aware of the frequency that you hold. Dancing is one of those things that brought me to the awareness of that frequency, of that, even that world, even that realm. And I realized that a lot of channeling that I do when I'm dancing and bringing in thoughts and waves and ideas, that is a gift. That is not only a gift, but that is something that can be also taken away. And I used to wonder why, you know, at some point in my journey of dancing, um, I was getting cut off, right? I was getting cut off from tapping into that frequency, tapping into like the goals, or not the goals, but the vision where I could see beyond what I could see physically. And it was like when I'm dancing, I can see, you know, kind of like kind of like the film in the movie.
My address is.
You need that?
My address is.
She just came in and just took my so no, she's like, but yeah, man. To say that, I realized that, huh? Cut it off. Oh, you need help? Hold on, guys. I gotta see something. You can come with me. You need my help?
Can you say that again?
You need my help? The heck? Don't be getting mad at me. I'll beat you up. Okay. So, where I left off was asking God why those things were happening. Asking God why my chart. Why was I getting cut off? Right? Why was I getting cut off from the frequency or the vision? Why was it hard? It's right here, babe. Yeah, why was I getting cut off? And it was very frustrating for me. Very, very frustrating. It was frustrating on the sense of you have connection and you feel this gust of abundance. You feel this gust of like power. It's right here.
Is this my tea? No, I'm gonna use my laptop.
Oh, I pulled it up though. FYI.
It's okay.
Yeah. And why was I?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I felt the power of just the vortex, the flow state. And I was like, oh man, this is delicious. Like I feel invincible. Like as long as I can keep the momentum, just keep twisting and turning that gear, it was like, nothing can stop me. All I need to do is keep building this body up so this body can keep up with these thoughts, right? And Yo, with that being said, man, it was a delicious steak, man. And when I got cut off for it, or it was like one of those things where, when you got a light bulb and the light bulb is flickering and then it goes off and then it'll come back on randomly whenever it wants to come back on. It was like that. And I was just getting frustrated because it was like, dude, I have all this access. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't have the juice anymore. What the hell is that? Like, I was asking God and I got so frustrated, man. I really got emotional about it. I mean, it was a thing. Like, I really got emotional. Sorry, I gotta get that scratch. I got really emotional about it. And um, that's when I started to become really dialed in and really tuned in to that levels of power, the levels of heights that God can actually go. You know, God was giving me glimpses. He was giving me a taste of the possibilities, right? But not to just be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, this is the thing and this is only the thing. There's more than what meets the eyes. There's more I want you to do, And I was using the power and the vehicle of dance on that journey. And right now in my current life, I still dance, but it's not at the level that I was, right? And I asked God about it. And right now, when it comes to looking at my schedule and things and how things are moving and stuff like that, it becomes very difficult sometimes to lean towards that. So I ask God, like, God, is that something you still want me to do? Like, because I know I want to do it, God, but is that what you want me to do? Like, I need you to give me a little bit more signs. And it's at this point where I'm going to start making stuff happen to like where just showing up is a thing, and regardless of the situation, regardless if it's cold outside, just show up and then leave. You know what I'm saying? Is this a way for me to bring your presence in these areas now? Because I was doing that already initially, but I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now, right? I wasn't as about the kingdom as I am now. I was more about God and the frequency, because like a lot of people in this time and day and age, everybody's all spiritual and stuff, and they're kind of leaving out the juice, right? But the statement is seek and ye shall find. So everybody is on their journey, and we have to not fluff things up, man. The information is already there, but I think because of the fact that we live in America, that that a lot of the concepts are, fluff. Everything is surface level stuff. So everybody's not trying to like use titles and labels and things like that because of the negative connotation that's been on it. I had a very hard time with accepting Jesus as the name, right? I had a very hard time with understanding that. And when my pops passed, and even before then, I believe I asked God, but mainly it was when my pops passed. When my pops passed, God put me in a position to where I became vulnerable and submissive. I was willing to become vulnerable and submissive. And that's why I'm coming back to that statement of, the connotation of people, or not the connotation, but the perception that people have that, God is a feminine energy and it will probably be most likely be a woman. I don't think God is a man or a woman, obviously, because it is energy. And God is all that be all and was there all until the beginning. And even in the beginning, and God was the beginning, right? I deem God more as a masculine figure in some form of fashion, because even in nature, even in nature, when you look at the male and you look at, like, you don't have to be submissive and vulnerable when it comes to the female as much, right? It's a privilege to become submissive and vulnerable. You already naturally are submissive and vulnerable, because even in the fetus stage, you're already submissive and vulnerable to whatever that is, whatever goes on. And again, because this now got me thinking. I'm like, dang, yeah, you know what? I can see that too in both ways. But That's what makes God so much greater, because God created feminine and masculine energy. And so even when it comes to us as male and female, we are supposed to harbor both male and masculine. Regardless if male is much more dominant, it's to balance it. If your male masculine is super dominant than your feminine, you have to balance it. You can't be a masculine dad and have a daughter and not balance your masculinity with feminine. You know, I'm still working on that right now. Like, my daughter cries about things where I'm just like, stop it. Right? And there's a time to be feminine in that operation. There's a time to come down and say, you need me to give you a hug. You know, you need me to give you some love right now, right? To just embrace you right now. And a part of me sometimes is just like, no, this is not the time, right? And there's balance. There's balance, man. And I realized that, you know, when I dealt with God at that time in my life, and even now, I still have to understand that that is a humbling aspect, because we were in times of medieval times, whatever the case may be, but if we are in times where you are serving a king of high altitude, of a presence that's just omni, he's sitting on the throne, he has the sphere in his hand, in his right hand. You gotta understand, there's a way you can't just walk up like, yeah, what up, king? Like, it ain't happening like that, though. There's a way you just gotta be humble wise. You gotta be like, wow, this is my father. My dad, I say this all the time, but my dad used to have the saying, it's like, when we get the plan and I'm doing overboard and things like that, he would get mad. He would have to draw the line, not necessarily mad, but he would draw a line to where, I am not your friend. I am your father. I'm your dad. So don't get it twisted. You see what I'm saying? And there's a level of, Abba is a king, but he's also our father. And there's a time and a place to address dad as dad, and there's a time and a place to address king as king. Right? And what I realized, this is all my own personal belief, and this is what I've come to a realization of. None of this matters. None of it's solid, And so, man, just it's so awesome. It's so awesome to really understand. Like, I want to incorporate God with even in dance, but I know that it's going to be bootstraps and hustle, right? Because there's politics and there's so many other things that leave God out of the equation, to where you have people in their sexualities and things like that, to where there's a lot of people who are like, well, that's not a part of my belief system. And it's like, that's fine. We're not trying to make it a part of your belief system. That's up to you and God to make it a part of your belief system. But best believe this culture was built on God. And that's factual. Hip hop culture was built on God. That was its original intent. It has been intentionally moved away from its original intent. When you talk about industries and things like that, because they know when they grab the snake by the head, the tail will lead. And all the other elements of hip hop culture and dance is at the bottom of the totem pole, beatboxing at the bottom of the totem pole, then it's DJing, then it's MCing. MC is the top. MCing was the top. MCing was the utters, which in the beginning of age, MCing represented utters. The beginning of conversation, the beginning of man, the beginning of communication. I look funny. Yeah, man. And DJing was cutting and scratching. You cut the berries from the trees to get or you cut the berries from the trees to eat, and you cut the herbs from the trees. Cut, scratch. No, I'm sorry. You cut the herbs from the tree, and then you scratched the rocks together to create fire. So cutting and scratching. That was the natural way of how to create an environment and also live off the environment, right? You needed fire for warmth during the temperature drops and things like that. Because if you didn't, then you freeze to death and die, or whatever the case may be, right? Fire was also meant to ward off whatever was not messing with fire, right? The medicinals, which was the herbs from the trees, was for cut, scratches, even um, cleansing the body, right? Detoxing the body from whatever disease or dis-ease, right? And you had you're right. There's so much to tell you guys, but let me just finish with the last two, and then I'm a skedaddle. I said MCing, DJing, breakdancing.
Hey, I can pay over here.
You can pay over where?
On the app that.
Oh, nice. Oh, it was graffiti arts. Graffiti arts was they take the juice berries, they chew it up, they go inside the cave, and they spit on their hand, and they leave the impression of I was here. I am. I am that I am. I have a significant finger thumbprint, right? And so I want my legacy to be known. I want to, even when I'm not here anymore, I want my legacy to live on. I was here, right? And those significant arts in the cave was to give you the impression of what was happening then, right? It was the early age of journaling, right? Or art in journaling, whatever the case may be, right? And that was your early age of graffiti arts, right? It was a way of storytelling. It was a way of self-identification, self-evidence. And last but not least, there was breakdancing. And breakdancing is when we all got together as a community and you beat the drums and we all celebrating because we either got a nice catch. It was traditional because that's how we just got together at night when we were about to eat and we were about to feast and everybody's together. And this is a way to entertain us. It was a way to also praise God. It was a way to also praise the gods, as they would say, or I hear different sayings and everything like that, but it was a way to praise God, right? And it was the fact that they were all together gave them something to look towards too, right? And that foundation of hip hop culture is something, and beatboxing was obviously the also instrumental aspect, right? So breakdancing, beatboxing, all lip motion, all ways of communication, because in my wife's culture, they use clicks, right? Those are early forms of beatboxing. Clicks are early forms of beatboxing. And you can see how I incorporated within languages. My wife's original last name was Umalo, right? And those are clicks. The clicks go, and I think it was,
It's a lot.
it's a lot of them. But yeah, long story short, beatboxing is in language as well. And it originated in that. That was the origin of hip hop culture. And the creators, Africa Bambaataa, DJ Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, and KRS-One, the creators of that whole movement understood the elevation of the culture of hip hop and who it was for. It was for God. It was a way to use that as a vehicle to enlighten the world. As you can see, it has been a great impression on the whole world. On the whole world. Now it has been manipulated and it has been controlled because the powers, I don't want to say the powers that be, but because people have ill will and intent against the culture and they wanted to use it because they knew that it was already a power to influence the mass. They saw that we discovered something that they had never discovered, that they didn't even know was possible. And with that being said, guys, God is almighty, man. The omnipotent one. And you don't have to be religious to understand that Being a citizen of a kingdom and being an ambassador is something bigger than yourself. And serving a God such as he or such as she, whatever people want to go, I don't really care. I don't get caught up on those things. And that was my thing then when I got caught up on the Jesus. And God told me, he said, don't get caught up on the words, son. He said, they change all the time. Just look at my names. I have many, right? And yet them don't know who I truly am. That's why I told Moses, I am that I am, right? I am what you have, whatever you need me to be, I am that. And that's powerful, right? And with that being said, man, this is a pleasure. I enjoyed it tremendously. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And peace, blessings, prosperity, and successful abundance in your journey in life. And I will catch you on another one. Farewell.
Bye.